Hi, everybody. I'm Willem,
And I'm Tim.
and this is Hear Me Out Pitch. Oh, we're going right at it. I caught up. I caught up, and videos are out, and hopefully it stays caught up, and hopefully we get more shorts because apparently you all like those. Because we currently have like 5,000 views on YouTube, which is weird, and that's just like all the views, not just like blah, 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 blah. So, and take that with a grain of salt because it is YouTube Shorts, but still, it's like cool. It's like people like us. We've actually gotten over 500 ever since we switched over to Spotify. We have over 500 like actual listens on Spotify.
Let's
So
go.
it's crazy.
Thank you guys.
I know. And we now have an audience number of like 11. So for the 11 people who and that means like people who consistently listen. Thank you to those 11 people.
Tis appreciated.
Tis appreciated. Because this is just a hobby. This is just something fun, and I'd rather have a hobby that gets big than
we put all our eggs in.
Yeah.
All the eggs in one basket.
I'm good. I like this basket. I like it. I put maybe one egg. I maybe should put two in, but eggs are expensive nowadays.
Yeah.
It's fine. It's fine.
And it fits the metaphor too.
All right. Well, I think we're ready to go right into it. I think
so.
today is like an original idea day because we both were surprisingly.
We both have an idea, an original idea, and I think
I got it. Okay. All right.
I like them both.
I mean, I technically have two as well. I technically have two.
Right. You've got two.
But I think did you like the emotion one better or the guy who kind of rewinds? Because honestly, okay, I'll tell you guys my two ideas. Mm-hmm. These are just thoughts I've been sleeping on for a while. The main one, ever since I watched a few episodes of the show Dexter, serial killer who kills serial killers, does all the investigations, whatever. I had kind of a idea of a horror show serial killer concept of a guy who he kills people. I probably shouldn't say that. It's probably why we don't get views. He hurts people very badly to the point they are no longer living. And he does it in like just random like anger moments. And I imagined it just shows him brutalizing somebody, and then he'll stand up covered in blood, and then he goes, oh, that was what I needed. And he rewinds time, and then the guy's yelling at him in the face, and he goes, have a great day, sir. And he walks away. But the person will be like, why do I feel like, ooh, you know? And the main point driving this show forward would have been that someone died, whether it was his love interest or he was defending someone and he lost control and it was someone important and he wasn't able to rewind far enough. And now that's kind of the premise of the whole show is he's a wanted man and people are now realizing how like violent he is and stuff. So I think that one's probably maybe gonna be a personal project of mine. I don't know, but that's because I love the movie About Time. Love it. Love the whole rewinding process. And I was just thinking to myself, what happens if you made like you smugly did something, but then it was out of your limit and you couldn't take it back? And that's just the most terrifying thing ever to me. I'm like, oh, that's scary. So the other one though is, and what was the word I used? Clairvoyant? Mm-hmm. That a person is born and they have a special knack that their emotions are clairvoyant, not themselves. And what I mean by that is they'll be randomly driving on the freeway and all of a sudden they just get angry. I'm talking like they start wanting to just swear, whatever, and they're so angry. And then 30 seconds later, car cuts in front of them. So what would happen if your emotions were 30 seconds ahead of everybody? What if your body could just predict that sort of thing? And so, yeah, that was my kind of two ideas. What you got?
My idea that
I just sorry.
Willem made fun of me
I just
when I sent it to him because he made me realize that what I was thinking was kind of similar to a certain Disney princess, but we'll talk about that in a moment. My idea is basically this boy named Jace. He's like 15, 16 years old. He was born with the ability to burn things without creating fire. So like he could touch something and it would start to burn.
So not like it's on fire, but
No,
it is just
but it is burning.
burning.
So the things that he touches burn, and yeah, and so and it would take place during the Renaissance era.
I like that idea.
It's just kind of like it's an era of invention and ideas and
Somewhat
adjusting
enlightenment,
viewpoints,
but also not a lot of enlightenment.
more intelligence enlightenment than religious enlightenment. And I thought that could be fun, and the main thing I wanted was this boy to have a pair of gloves that he wore. That doesn't have to be silk. I know that's what I said in the text, but a pair of gloves that he finally, when he accepts who he is and what he is, he'll take off the gloves and start burning things. And he sent me a gif of Elsa dancing.
I almost said, man, it sounds like he just has to let it go, and then I wanted to send it, but I was like, nah. But the thing, I say that too much now. That's my new, you know what I mean?
You know what I
Here's the thing, or my point being, or I just said another word that I was like, I think I kept saying altercation. I kept saying it so much in a different video, and I was like, oh my gosh. Insert Mr. Montoya. I don't think that word means what you think it means, Willem. I'm not good with words, so.
Altercation is just. It's an altercation.
It's an altercation. So I do like the idea of Chase. I at least the idea of someone hiding a power in the Renaissance era. Just that time. Like, I'm thinking like an Ezio Auditore type character. Like, I love it, and I think I want to visit that. No camera, whatever. It changed. I think I want to visit that another time. I think I want to dive more into that. Maybe we can throw back and stuff so more, so we can, because I like it a lot. I just don't want people to automatically think what I think and go, oh my gosh, we're getting boy Elsa, hooray! And I'm like, oh, but I think it'd be so cool, because would he like carve with it? Would he change stuff with it? Would he like make paintings with it? Like I've been thinking
about that.
I've been thinking about stuff like that. I was thinking about like he would be terrible to be like. I imagine he is like an apprentice to Da Vinci, and Da Vinci like hands him some papers, and then Da Vinci puts the hands away, because I feel like Da Vinci would know. Like, oh no, we can put the gloves on. Oh yeah. So something like that. I think I want to visit Chance again. No, it wasn't Chance. Chase. Jace. Who's Chance? Oh,
Chance was our gunslinger.
He's our life slinger, which I was so proud of that thumbnail. So I was
posted on Facebook.
It's fine. It's fine. You're just Doc Tim's non-existent pay. All right. All right. Well, I was looking to pay. Whatever.
I got it.
Well, if that's the case, I mean, if that's okay with you, because I really want to I want to buffer more into that, because you've already kind of fleshed it out and already set up a world.
I mean, it's our world.
Yeah. So I think, how would you feel about going with the emotions one?
I like it.
Because I feel like it's something that's kind of our niche. Just a character that has a weird thing. But how many heroes and stories are like that? Oh, they're like this, but they also happen to just breathe fire. They also happen to be the son of a kaiju. And you're like, what? So, I don't care. We need to play Split Fiction soon. So, that game looks fun. All right, so we're going with the emotions, I'm guessing. So how big of a window, what do you think is appropriate? Do you think 30 seconds is too little?
Maybe the more intense the emotion is, the shorter time window that is. Could be based on how intense the emotion is, how overpowering it is. So if it's, a fleeting sense of joy because somebody gave him a hug, he'll feel that a minute or two in advance. But if it's, intense anxiety because he's getting shot at, that's happening maybe 10 seconds beforehand or even 5 seconds beforehand. And so it's in those moments we'd get scenes where we'd get Matrix scenes, right, where he's chasing someone or he's walking down the road, and right before he's going to start getting shot at, he gets Peter Tingle Spidey sense.
I just realized that
and just kind of
this kid just has spider sense.
I mean,
in a way. It's but I imagine it's very gripping. Imagine if Inside Out they were just imagine that on high psychedelics. They just press it very early and you're like, "Oh." Mm-hmm. And I imagine there's two scenes just to kind of help put out there of this world of our characters. I imagine a scene where they, and I'll just say he for now because we've made female characters before, but I've always just imagined myself in this situation, so I'll just say he for now. But I could easily change it. But I just imagine that he gets a phone call and right when he hears it ringing, immediately tears are just rolling down his eyes. He just can't stop and he's crying already, and he looks and he sees it's a phone call from a sibling or a relative, and he goes, "Hi, I can't do this today." And he picks it up, and then he's like, "Hello," and they hear him crying, like, "Did someone already tell you?" And he goes, "Tell me what?" And then it's like, someone died, sibling died, father died, like something terrible. Mm-hmm. That's like one scene I would want.
Could be the start of the movie.
Could be start of a movie. It could be showing how some people think it's a cool thing, but really he doesn't like it. But here's the other one is, what happens if all your emotions shut off from you potentially dying? Let's say he's running and then all of a sudden his emotions are all gone for a few seconds and he goes, "Oh," and then he moves. That to me is the one thing that would creep most people out, is he's just sitting there and all of a sudden just immediately just everything. He's like, "Ha!" And he has to think real quickly of going, why am I dead? Why am I dead? Because his emotions, everything is shut off. And so he's just kind of like, oh.
And he's got 5 seconds to figure it out.
Yep. 5, 10. So I think, that's why I think 30 is or what's a random, 27. Ooh.
I was going to say 17. Could be called 17 seconds. 17 seconds of emotion.
I think 17. Just the number 17. Mm-hmm. 17 emotions. How many emotions are there, would you say?
It depends on how...
You define it?
It depends on how...
Just type in your phone really quick on Google.
All right.
Type in, just say, how many emotions are there? Just and let's just see what the first answer is. I know I could easily use my phone and do that, but Tim always has his phone on hand. And before anyone goes, "Oh, why, Tim?" It's it's a lot, isn't it?
It's 27.
No, it is. All right.
So the number of human emotions varies.
That's
depending on the classification system used. Some researchers identify 6 basic emotions. Those are the 6 basic emotions that I focus on at my work. That being happiness, sadness, fear, anger, surprise, and disgust. We don't really worry about disgust at my work, but etc., etc. While others suggest there could be as many as 27 distinct emotions, and emotions can be complex and they'll often blend together, right? Mm-hmm. You could get fear and anger, or fear and surprise, or surprise and disgust, or happiness and sadness. As we saw in Inside Out, the first one. So it's difficult to kind of pin down the exact number, but
27.
27. I think that works.
Awesome.
27.
27 is our magic number. And I 27 is probably
27 seconds.
27 is probably my favorite number because it's 3 squared. No, sorry, 3 cubed. And it's to me like cuz 9 is my main favorite, but to me it's the most it's a Rubik's cube. It's all these things. So 27 to me is like really one of my favorite numbers. I think there's a creepy Jim Carrey movie about the number 27.
Probably.
So,
I don't know.
but yeah, I think we found our number. I think that would be nuts. And that would be the start of the movie. Depending on who you ask, depending on what you're studying, there are thousands of emotions. There could be only 6 emotions, but many people agree that 27 is a good number. And that's how many seconds I am ahead of everyone else. And you're like, what? So I think that'd be kind of a cool intro. So 27 seconds. Oh, the elevator's here.
Yeah.
27 seconds. All right. Well, now we've said that, I'm like, that's it. We're done, guys. All right, that's it. We got
I'm going.
There you go. All right. Oh crap! I didn't think this through of what I would. So
We need a plot.
yeah, we need a plot.
We need a plot.
And
we've
got
the power. We've got the gimmick. We need a plot, and that's.
Does he use this power in? I don't know what he would use this for.
I don't know. Would he be? Could be kind of funny if his main job, like his main job, he's a hitman, but his side job, like his cover job, is he's a therapist.
That reminds me too much of Hannibal Lecter. Even though Hannibal Lecter was not a hitman, but I was thinking of hitman. But how would you use that in regards to? I mean, he could work for the government, and he could be a. He could work for the government in analyzing people, since he knows
Analyzing scenarios and situations, wartime stuff.
You know, he probably would. I think he would be a giant he would be prominent. Is that the word? I don't know. He would be. I feel like he would be an expert if you realize that your emotions were running 30 seconds faster than everyone else. So here's a question though: how does his action? So I think the main kind of moral I would want, just like Inside Out, is our emotions don't drive us.
Mm-hmm.
That is probably the main thing. Because I remember I had a friend tell me that they did not like Inside Out because it felt like it was saying that our emotions control us. Our emotions.
They don't.
They don't. But sometimes
Inside Out
like
2 kind of played on that because it was a lot of, the end. For those of you who haven't seen it, go watch it. It's a good movie. It is a solid date night movie, or just hang out with the fam.
It was probably
whatever.
one of the best sequels I've seen in a long time from Disney.
Agreed. I think the only sequel that I think is a better sequel is Toy Story 2.
Are we talking from Pixar at least?
Yeah.
Okay.
From Pixar. Anyway, point being, I think, at the end of Inside Out 2, they kind of played with the idea Riley's in control. The emotions are just there to help push things forward. We don't the emotions don't get to decide who we are. We get to decide, and that's kind of
that. I'm glad that they went with that in this most recent movie, because it really just the part where poor Anxiety is like, all right, tell us who you are, Riley, and Riley immediately goes, I'm a terrible person, and you're like, oh no. And yeah, we're not here to talk about Inside Out 2.
No.
We aren't. But 10 out of 10 movie, definitely.
Agreed. It is a very good movie. I forget what we were even talking about. So
this character his emotions don't run him, even though
Oh,
his
right.
how do we convey that?
His emotions don't control who he is. His emotions help him make better decisions.
He gets the benefit more than all of
Yeah.
us. He gets to because he's there. Like I imagine
He
that
gets
he'll be
27 extra seconds to think about what a choice or what a situation is going to make him feel before he does something. And I think that's something that we all would benefit from, is an extra 27 seconds where we're just, is this decision gonna screw over my life? Am I gonna, you know, is asking this girl out gonna make me,
yes,
instantly anxious?
yep, yes, it
It
is.
will, from experience. It will. Um,
Aw. And he asked her, and now look, they're married.
it's true. But
Yeah, it doesn't happen like that for all of us, buddy.
I got lucky. Anyway, I think the main idea that we could push is that although he's got that 27 extra seconds to think and process his emotions, it still leaves him vulnerable in the moment, because then he's not feeling those emotions when the event happens.
What do you mean? Like, what are you picturing?
I am imagining two very intense emotions are joy and love and surprise and fear. So I know you can laugh, it's whatever, but our main character could be making out and he feel, can you feel the love tonight?
Can you
He feels love toward this person, and then all of a sudden it's immediate fear and surprise, and so he pulls out of the kiss or whatever, and then they've got a minute and he's like, get down on the ground, duck, and then bullets start flying.
I think that's so. When the event happens, so if he avoids said event, what happens when the timer runs out?
Well, I think he'll still feel the emotions. I think the emotions come whether he survives or not.
Yeah. Well, I mean, so let's say, he doesn't feel pain. This is clearly just emotion. But if you had hot chocolate, we'll say hot chocolate. If hot chocolate got spilled on you, hot chocolate, tea, coffee, if it just got sprayed on you at work, let's just say you're just chilling, talking to people, and a coworker walks up, hey guys, and trips on you, Tim. How would you feel in that moment? You have the hot chocolate on you.
I'd be annoyed and in pain.
And so do you think pain affects our emotions? What would that
Yes.
do? Would it immediately make you angry? Would his adrenaline, so would his body be in fight? Would he be in anxious fight or flight? Would he feel the hot chocolate like burning him?
I
Or
think
would
it's
he
just pure brain
So
power. It's pure emotion, not physical.
and so now I'm like thinking to myself though, would he understand because of, if he's around, honestly, let's just make him in between me and you. He's in his late 20s, mid 20s. And if he's just talking at the office and everyone's laughing and all of a sudden like halfway through them laughing, he like immediately like just gets annoyed, angry, and he's like trying to figure out, would he look at his coworker walking like pouring their coffee, like looking like they're about to pour their coffee, and when he goes, hey, let me grab that coffee for you, says it kind of I almost said he says it kind of rudely. He's like, give me that coffee real quick before you drop it. Like he says it rudely. Like I'm talking like he is laughing, Tim. Me and you, we're dying. And all of a sudden I go, give me that. And I stop and I take your coffee from you. And you're like, what the heck? Like, would that immediately appease the emotion? Would he immediately go, okay, I just had to grab that before you dropped it on someone? Would he start laughing again? Like, that's what I mean is if he stops the event from happening, what happens?
I don't think he does. Well, I don't know. Because that goes into the game of probability versus versus, actual event setting. So I don't know. It could just be, it could be 27 seconds in advance, and it could be possibilities
Yeah,
of emotion.
and that's what I mean.
And it could be, there are some situations where, depending on what he chooses, it's 3, 4, 12 different emotions that could possibly happen.
And it does depend on the other person's point of view, and we could have flashbacks of him sitting there going, "Oh yeah, this has never been fun." We could make it that it started happening when he turned 27, and it's been a couple years.
We could make him like 40.
How old are you, Tim? 24? Oh gosh, I should know that. Oh my gosh. Fine. Oh my gosh, really?
Yeah.
Okay. Sorry, everyone.
I know I look like I'm 12.
Sometimes it just hits me.
It's fine. You're not 30 yet.
I know.
You got some time.
I'm fine. Sometimes it does hit me like a brick. I'm like, oh, jeez. Crap, what were we talking about? Make him 40? I think around 40. What about 30? What about like 33? You know what? No. 36.
I don't know.
So it's been, because now he's been doing this for about 9 years. I like now that we're doing kind of numbers of 3s and 9s and 27. I want to keep it that way. So, but let's say he's just been going this for 9 years. So ever since he turned 27, that would be fun. That'd be nice to be like, I got these powers when I turned 27, and it's weird. So
Yeah.
it could be fun because when he could, and I'm gonna put a little.
It's been 2 years and 3 months. 27 months.
I can go. I'll go with that. That's fine. We'll go with that. So he's 29 then. Oh.
Yeah. You would know.
I would know. I would know. Sorry, my eyeballs are on fire. Well, I want to show, like, it hasn't been like, I imagine a voiceover with him, and I always imagine this in movies. What do you imagine these as? Do you ever imagine it in movies, or do you imagine it in books?
Depends on the story. This one I'm imagining as a movie.
Okay. Well, imagine that we're having like a voiceover type of thing, and he's explaining it. I imagine that he is, wasn't always the best, because slowly after I turned 27, I asked the love of my life to marry me, and right when I popped the question, "Will you marry me?" automatically, like I just imagine like he's like, I was getting ready to ask her, and I felt embarrassment and shame right before I asked her, and
then we see, and she tells him no.
Yep.
I'm actually seeing someone else.
Oh gosh.
That would.
Actually, I met someone else. Who? Kyle from the donut shop. What? So that didn't happen to me. I am so kidding. Never asked anyone to marry me. I'm fine. All right. Nice dude. Late 20s.
Mm-hmm.
I'm liking it. I am liking it. All right. So driving force. I think now he's found someone new. He's dating someone, works with, well, what are the chances that he would still be working? Or maybe he's now deciding that now that he's been so, would it be an ironic coincidence that he works with people? Maybe he's just that type of guy.
I think it would be really funny if he genuinely was like a therapist. I think it would be. I think the irony would not be lost on people, and I think it would be so funny.
Maybe he's just barely finishing his schooling for that. Maybe he changed. Maybe he was going to be a social worker, and then this started affecting him, and he changed. Like it dropped him back a couple of years, but he's like, I'm actually trying to finish this now and whatever. And yeah, I should have seen the look of the dean's face when I told him I wanted to change from Yeah.
When I wanted to go from computer science to being a
A
therapist.
therapist of all things.
I could see that.
I could see that a lot
That's
too.
kind of my wife went from wanting to do um um the computer like digital art,
Uh-huh.
and now she's doing accounting. Big change.
Hated accounting. Hated it. I shouldn't really say anything though, because I am a not proud. College dropout. Hooray! Hooray for COVID. Um, don't drop out. Stay in school, kids. You'll save your life. I'm fine. I've actually been very lucky. Anyway, we're not here to talk about me and my woes and my worries. We are here to talk about Steven. I don't know. That's not his name. No, I'm going to go with Mark.
We can call him Steven. Or
Mark or Steven. I like Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark.
Oh, hi, Mark. Oh, hi, Mark. Tell us about your emotions today, Mark. Mark. So how many people would know?
I think his...
I don't want him married, but definitely has a girlfriend. Do you think she should know?
I think so.
Okay.
I think she knows. Maybe his boss knows. And one of his clients. Just one client.
Just
knows.
one. Just one. I feel like my emotions are driving me. You have no idea how I relate to that.
Dude, you think you got it bad?
You think you got it bad?
You have no idea.
I don't think psychiatrists are allowed to be like, you think you got it bad? Well.
I can't imagine. I don't think I could ever imagine a therapist being like, "You don't have it bad, buddy."
Gosh. Poor
Oh,
Poor
man.
Tim talking about stresses of life. You think it's bad? Imagine being your therapist. Whoa! Whoa! I had to get a therapist because of you. Whoa! Whoa! Actually, if I learned that my therapist didn't have a therapist, I'd be a little concerned. I'd be a little concerned. Therapy. Do I go to it though? No. Probably should.
Oh,
All right.
that's funny.
So we have the character, we have his niches, kind of. What would be? Are we just gonna do like a? Oh my gosh, what's this? Bruce Willis. What's the Christmas movie with Bruce Willis?
Die Hard.
Die Hard. Are we gonna have like a Die Hard moment? And he has to like go and storm the thing. He has to
I've
save
never
the
seen Die
day.
Hard.
Oh my gosh! It's not a Christmas movie, Dad. Don't care what you say. It's not. You can watch it any time of the year. It just works better when you watch it at Christmas time. Anyway, sorry guys, I've had a lot of self-inserts today, haven't I? It's my podcast. I can do what I want. It's my podcast. I can do what I want. We're gonna get sued.
Yep. Well, we changed the word.
We changed the word. It's fine, and I was sing off key, so it doesn't matter. It's not copyright if you can't sing on key.
You don't use the right words.
Don't use the right
one.
word.
Key. You're fine.
Boobadabbad. I apologize, everybody. It's only Tuesday.
It's been a day.
It's been a long 2 weeks, and it's only Tuesday.
Yep.
I didn't have any caffeine today.
Daylight savings killed us.
Oh
both.
gosh, that's
Kill
it.
us
That's
both.
what it is. At least the sun doesn't go down till after 7.
Yeah, that's true.
And it's Leprechaun Day next week, so hooray.
It's true.
I am ecstatic. I need to get some corned beef. I am totally off the rails this episode. All right, Tim. Really quick though. What would be a random go-to thing that a therapist would do? Is he just going to save a bit? I honestly feel like a nonchalant man going about, and I mean, we have a lot of movies like this right now. Oh gosh, I feel like that Novocaine movie that's out is kind of like this. Doesn't feel any pain.
Doesn't feel pain.
He doesn't feel pain, and he's going to go save like his friend or something, and he works in a bank. Darn it.
He's going to go save the girl he loves, but they don't know what they are.
They don't know what they
Something
are.
like that.
Something like that. What are we? I don't know. I can't feel nothing. Well, our character feels it 30 seconds beforehand. So he's going to feel that big oof before it hits. There's people outside. I'm not going back. Totally missed that joke last time they came by. So
I think it's possible emotion. It's maybe the most probable emotion.
yeah.
And so, right, he can change what he's doing, and that those emotions will change. And there's the whole, he's getting shot at. His emotions have turned off.
That scene to me would be like, imagine just, the heart pumping, everything, and all of a sudden, and he immediately just goes, I think I'm gonna die. And he goes, okay, and he has to quickly adjust. Like, that's never happened to him before. Like, it saved him on the freeway a few times, as in, like, he felt the scared and rush, and he goes, I'm gonna look around, and he notices a car swerving, and he gets out of the way. Like, he's had close calls. And people are always like, wow, how'd you do that? And he's like, I just had a feeling. But I think that scene, though, just for some reason, there's, like, gunfire, and he's, like, he's hiding, and he's about to, like, and all of a sudden he feels just nothing. Like, I imagine the camera would be all blurred and crazy, and then all of a sudden hyper focused, zoomed in on him, and he just, and he's dead inside, because that's what's going to happen. So he has, like, just imagine how crazy that is. That means he has 27 seconds to figure it out. I think just him saving the day somewhere would just be fun. I don't need him to save his girlfriend. I don't need him to save anybody, but just I don't know. I love how we did this, and it's just one of those weeks where we're like, it's a little bit of something, but we'd love to hear more from, if you guys have any ideas about it, tell us, because this is kind of a rough episode.
Well, we're 30 minutes in and we don't have a plot.
I think this is the hardest one we've done in a while.
Well, maybe we turn to you guys and ask what you guys want to see in the plot for this. Because honestly, I can't. My brain don't want to work today. I had to get up earlier than I normally do, and I was on my feet chasing toddlers all day.
All day.
They have more energy than they ever should.
It's good practice for when we're dads one day. So, we'll be fine.
Yeah.
I have to deal with my friends' kids sometimes, and I'm just like, how do they have this much energy?
Yeah, the one kid I was with, we go across the clinic every 5 minutes.
Cute.
A lot.
The only thing, I'm just thinking of the scene in Hancock when he saves the bank.
Never seen it.
You're gonna take it.
Hancock is rated R.
No, it's not.
Isn't it?
The original theatrical release is PG-13.
Oh, I thought it was rated R.
No.
I've never seen Hancock. It's one that I think would be fun to watch.
It's great. That's one I would want. I think we're gonna come up with a sequel.
Okay.
I think that'll be fun. I'll have you find it. I think I have it. Either way, we can just rent it, because I think I do have the non-theatrical release, and that one is technically art because it's not released in theaters. So we'll find the original.
Hancock with Will Smith. It's rated R.
No, it is not.
Mm-hmm.
There's no way.
I'm looking at it right now.
No.
It's rated R.
No way. No way. My parents let me watch that, and they did not let me watch rated movies. Hold on, everybody. Hancock. See, this is the one I got from. It's rated PG-13 for these stuff. So you might have the R-rated one. Mild. Sex and nudity. Anyway, we are totally getting off topic. This is definitely getting cut. Yeah. Look. Again, my parents were pretty strict growing up. Anyway,
So
I think we've had this conversation many a times.
Probably. Ow, hiccups.
Hiccups. Freaking hiccups. I think this episode just turned into a random rant
I think
about
so. We came up with a character. We came up with a gimmick. That might be all the brain power. All I've got the brain power for.
All right, then what about? I've already told you the scene about him getting a phone call and it's bad news and it's a death, and I've told you about him losing all his motion. What is one scene that you would want to see at least?
I would want it to be. Toward the end of the movie.
Okay.
Everything's super depressing and sad, and then he gets happiness and joy and surprise, and so he starts looking around and he's like, what's going on? And then he sees maybe the person that died and that phone call was for shows up.
Okay. You know what would be cute? No. I'm gonna change
Could
it.
be the girlfriend.
I would want it to be he's exhausted, and right before he starts walking up the stairs, and I feel like if his girlfriend knows, she's gonna do this very carefully, but I feel like it'd be cute where she has everyone like in the back of the so a surprise birthday, a surprise party.
She knows, like, he reaches for the doorknob and then it hits. And she knows it's 27 seconds. So
and he just and it smiles and he opens the door and he walks in, looks around, and we just hear. Actually, no, we wouldn't even. I would imagine we wouldn't even see them yell surprise because we'd like hear him walk in. We kind of zoom around their apartment or like we'd like zone out and we just
see the clock.
Yeah,
tick down the 27 seconds.
Yep, and it's like zooming out, and all of a sudden all the lights go on, and we hear surprise, and he goes, "That made my day," and then that's the end of the movie.
That could be a fun gimmick for the movie too, a visual cue. Around the screen, we could have 7 or 27 tick marks that disappear.
He immediately he's gotten so good at he can do like the equalizer thing where he starts the timer. So he just always, and that could be the gimmick, like
27.
Yeah. Well, I mean like 24, you know how it's like, boop, boop, boop. Mm-hmm. We have that sort of thing. I like that. I just don't know what would be the driving force of this movie. I think the character's cool. I think the concept is cool.
It could be maybe one of his, what's it called? One of his patients. One of his clients tells him something that then starts this chain of events with, could be like drug dealers and an assassination attempt on a governor or something crazy like that. And now, and like, he's got to get involved now because now therapist knows and our main character knows, and so, you know, because the client told him, now our main character's involved, blah blah blah. Mm-hmm. Could be this whole thing where he gets kidnapped, and I don't know, could be fun. Something like that, something weird.
Wins the lottery. Don't know how that would work because he's not clear. It's just his emotions. But how could he use his emotions as an edge? What could he be doing to? Because if he had 3 doors, here's a final scenario, and then we'll think about it for a bit, and then maybe we'll just call it. We don't really have a plot for this one, and we'll leave it to these guys, and then someday down the road we'll come up with new stuff. But my thing is, if he had 3 choices, or even just 2, we have 2. He has 2 doors, and one is good, one is bad. You know, he can't know what he is going to choose, and how it would just be 50-50 no matter what in his head. You know, he can't walk up to the door and wait 27 seconds. Mm-hmm. You know, I imagine if there would probably be a part where he man, that's a really hard one. Because I imagine there's the like there's a terrible choice he has to make. You know, you do this person lives. You do this, and they die. Choose, and there's a gun to his head or whatever, and he has to make that choice.
His emotions are going wild.
And it's just he's just and it would but the worst part would be he thinks about the decision and immediately his emotions go off again. And that would be the terrible part of the movie, is that's when he learns that he's not gonna, no matter what he chooses. That would be the terrible thing. That's what I would want from that scene, is he just and he just starts like, and he can't even show emotion. He can't be scared. It just freaks them out because he's just like, I don't, and just shuts off in front of them, in front of everybody. That would be terrifying.
Yeah.
But it would be ironic though, because that would save him. Because the second he thought of the choice, the second he like reached I don't know. I think we bit off more than we could chew with this one. We'll have to, I think instead of just rambling, I think we'll put a pin in it.
I agree.
I think
we'll come back to it.
And we do have a few more stories like that, but I think for now, there's a few scenes in my head. There's a few scenes you've added. I think that cute surprise party thing we came up with, that to me would be such a cute ending for this movie. I would love a happy ending for this character. After going through all that turmoil, that he literally, because a few times in this movie he's gonna feel like he dies and just his emotions shut off and he hates it. Oh, imagine if that stuck though for a bit. That'd be weird.
That'd be uncomfortable.
It would be. Imagine if your emotions shut off and it shuts off for a good, solid, even for a couple minutes. I would hate to lose all my emotions and just be a robot. Huh. Well, I think we'll have to revisit it. It's been a little under 50 minutes, but I'm pretty happy with it, and I thought it was fun. Sorry if this was short. Sorry if this is a more disappointing episode, and we understand. And hopefully soon we'll come up with more, and hopefully we'll have a few more. We'll find a few more crappy movies. So yeah, tell us if there's any ideas you have, any movies or shows you hate, video game stories you hate. Let us know. We want to know what you guys don't like, and we want to try to hit them up. We want to show that stories can still be awesome today. So, but other than that, I'm pretty happy with my care. You want to close us off, Tim?
Yeah, I think so. I agree. I think this is a good spot to end it. We can revisit it again, echoing what Willem just said. If you guys have any ideas, any movies, books, stories, video games, etc., that you want us to cover, reach out. Let us know. That being said, I think we'll leave it there. So as always, love each other, be kind, and try to be a little more mindful of your own emotions.
Ooh.
And until next time, we will see you later, pitches.
Bye.